Everything is getting more expensive. Rent, gas, groceries, and the last thing you need is credit card debt piling up. But there's a better way to build credit without interest or expensive fees. With Chime's Credit Builder Visa credit card, you use money you set aside to build credit. No credit check, no minimum deposit, and no annual fees. Just make everyday purchases and pay on time. Start building smarter credit today at chime.com/Dan. That's chime.com/DAN. Good credit opens doors, better loan rates, easier apartment approvals, and financial peace of mind. Plus, with Chime, you can get paid up to 2 days early and even access fee-free overdraft up to $200 with SpotMe. Turn your everyday purchases and on-time payments into steps toward your financial goals with Chime's Secured Credit Builder Visa credit card. Get started today at chime.com/Dan. That's chime.com/DAN. Chime feels like progress. The Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card is issued by the Bancorp Bank, N.A. or Stride Bank, N.A. SpotMe eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Chime checking account is required to apply. Out-of-network ATM withdrawal and OTC advance fees may apply. Timing depends on submission of payment file. Late payment may negatively impact your credit score. Results may vary. Go to chime.com/disclosures for details.
Now's a good time to remember where tequila's story truly began. In 1795, Cuervo invented tequila.
Cuervo.
What are you doing here?
Cuervo. Anytime someone says Cuervo, I show up.
Well, I do know that to be true, but even during ad reads, like...
Cuervo.
I think you could lay out, especially for one of our great partners.
Sweet, delicious Cuervo.
Since then, Cuervo has stayed true to its roots. The same family, the same land, the same passion.
Cuervo.
So, enjoy the tequila that started it all. Cuervo.
Cuervo.
The tequila that invented tequila. Proximo. Cuervo.com. Please drink responsibly.
Cuervo.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
Happy Good Friday, everybody.
Hey.
Yeah, it's Easter, right?
Well, it's Good Friday. Easter's on Sunday.
Easter's on
a couple
Sunday.
days from Sunday.
I have a question about Good Friday.
Sure.
Why are we so somber? Like, I remember, as a kid, you're supposed to not do anything. Look, I get why.
Well, remember, we don't know what happens.
No,
Izzy.
but we do know what happens.
But I know.
We absolutely do know.
We don't know.
It's a
right
happy
now, we don't
ending.
know.
He comes back couple days later. It happens every time.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
You haven't heard the story.
Jeez.
That's what I want to do on Good Friday is go around and tell people, hey, you don't have to be sad. Sunday, gonna be awesome.
He is risen.
It's gonna be a big rabbit. It's gonna be amazing.
Every Friday is Good Friday to me.
That's got to be, if you're Jesus, right? There's 2 big days, right? Christmas and Easter, right? And they're like, oh, everyone's going to be, that's nice. That's awesome. So how are they celebrating me? Well, on Christmas, we all just kind of like worship this big fat red guy.
We'll give each other presents.
Right.
Big ass tree.
So Jesus is like, okay, a little weird, but like, hey, I'm all for the spirit of giving. All right, what about Easter? Like Easter, everyone wants to be super psyched. Well,
Brunch.
we get a big rabbit and we hide eggs, and then we go to brunch. And you're just like, if
Makes
you're Jesus,
perfect
like,
sense.
So like, I don't come up in any of this. Nothing, not a shout out, nothing.
I mean, sometimes people go to church on that day, but it's really about the chocolates in the grass.
And the brunch.
And the brunch.
And the brunch. We need
Chicken and waffles.
This Monday, bad Monday. Because all Mondays stink, all Fridays are good. That's what I'm doing.
the
That's
worst
the game
Monday.
I'm playing.
Sunday scary.
The Church of Chris Cote.
Yeah. Oh man. The gospel of Chris Cote.
I don't want to play that game.
Well, I'll tell you what. The pancake breakfast always on point at the Church of Chris Cote.
It's going to be especially on point this Easter.
Why is that?
I was talking about hiding eggs in the grass. Mm-hmm. It's 420.
Different kind of grass.
Different kind of grass.
Wow, different kind of chocolate
Like
too.
this brunch is going to hit.
Oh my God!
And church might be a little bit fun too.
I'm with this. Hold on now. The Church of Chris Cote, where just shows up baked to give the sermon.
Amen.
Sermon's 4 hours long, by the way, because he just keeps rambling. We were talking about this before the show because Jeremy was talking about Passover and how he learned about Passover was from Rugrats?
Yeah, the Rugrats Passover episode.
Really?
For every young Jewish kid, this was a cultural moment, being shown Rugrats Passover for the first time. I think it came out the year I was born, but the Pickles family, which is unsurprising based off the name, Jewish.
Yeah.
And Tommy Pickles and co., his grandfather, the way that story goes, I think they all get trapped in an attic, which is, ironic. And they end up hearing the story of Passover for the first time from their grandfather, who has a thick Russian accent and animated. However you think an animated Jewish grandfather looks, that's what he looks like.
Speaking of 420, Stu Pickles, that dude did drugs. The dad?
Oh, to cope for the depression.
He was like a scientist, right? He was always like working on something in the garage. No, he was just smoking weed.
He had purple hair.
He had purple hair.
He was always frantic.
Yeah, I was a Chucky guy. I love Chucky. Always was scared.
Chucky was the ginger.
Yeah, he's the star of the show.
Yeah, he really is.
I don't like how the hard ER there.
Ginger.
Yeah.
But
Man, so Jamaican ginger.
the Passover Rugrats episode got me thinking about another animated show that, these shows are all, me and Izzy, we were already like too old for those shows. So we kind of just see them, but not really into
I watched the Rugrats.
Did you?
As a fully formed adult.
For real?
Mm-hmm.
It's a great show.
It is.
Taught you a lot. Look at what you're seeing on the screen right now.
still
We're looking at an actual Torah. And in that episode, the Maccabees, it was a Maccababy's got to do what a Maccababy's got to do.
One of my first crushes was Angelica Pickles' mom, Charlotte Pickles.
I feel like that says a lot about your psyche.
Hold
and
on.
I kind of like it.
Can you guys pull up what she looks like?
Yeah, this
no,
is,
Angelica's
I know
the kid.
exactly.
Charlotte Pickles.
I know exactly what Charlotte Pickles looks like.
Okay.
And this is going
my
to
man
be.
fits me.
While they pull this up, so I was telling Jeremy, as a father, I try to get my kids into these, when they were younger, into these different shows and stuff. And so I remember when my oldest was like 2 years old, I was like, I hear about VeggieTales. I'm like, okay.
VeggieTales.
Yeah, like, I guess VeggieTales.
Oh, come on, this is not her. Come on, we could do better than this.
Good Friday.
Get the full picture here. Come on, guys.
We're talking about a body.
What do you mean full picture?
I know exactly what he means by full picture.
They'll keep digging. So I started watching VeggieTales with my oldest, because I was like, oh, this is cool. My kid will learn about vegetables and will like vegetables and stuff. And then 20 minutes in, I'm like, huh. And then I realized, oh, VeggieTales was a Christian show. Very
Yes. You guys didn't know that?
I had no idea.
I thought it was just vegetables, like broccoli talking and stuff.
No.
And so I was like, oh, this is
There it is.
Now we're
religious
talking.
programming. Oh, wow.
Now we're talking.
How old were you, Chris?
I was like 7.
Okay.
You should say I was 27 years old.
I was like, me like it.
Yeah. You're like, damn, 35 years
God. Good Lord.
More Rugrats, please, Mom.
That was the mom?
Look at her, very fit on a treadmill.
That was the mom?
She's Maxie.
Max. Nice callback there. But yeah, I had no idea, Tony, that it was religious programming.
That's something that we grew up with religiously was VeggieTales. It was like a part of our
Literally
thing.
religiously.
Yeah.
They were talking about
About Good Friday.
Yeah, it was some episode about I was Jesus going to the market and say let there be fish and all that. But it was the VeggieTales were telling the story, and it just threw me off. But now, years and years later, when I watch Righteous Gemstones and they're trying to make Teen-Just, that's what it makes me think of. It's this is how all those shows get made. It's a bunch of people yo, we're gonna make this show. It's gonna be about Jesus, but we're gonna have carrots and
Vegetables do it.
and Brussels sprouts tell the story.
We're going to hide it.
You guys got a whole show. We got our 2 episodes, Passover and Hanukkah, and that's how it worked for us, and only on Rugrats. But it was well worth it because we're going to feel a little more Charlotte Pickles again,
I still call my phone a hello phone every once in a while because that's what the kids called it. Because, you pick up the phone and you say hello, so it's a hello phone.
Oh.
Dan Le Batard.
Sugar daddies. These things, I'm telling you.
I love sugar daddy.
They get stuck in your teeth. You can't chew them. They're impossible to chew. They are impossible to chew.
Every day. Stugotz.
Hell yeah, brother.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Izzy, you call your phone a hello phone, but you're calling Golden State a goodbye phone.
Ooh, transition.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hung up.
Look, I think a lot. Man, I feel like an astronaut today. It feels like because I'm wearing this like white and my face is super shiny, so it looks like I'm already wearing the helmet. But anyway, yeah, I think the Rockets are going to beat the Warriors. I know it's a 2-7. I know it's a 2-7 thing. Perfect. It's a 2-7 situation, so they should be the favorites, but they're not. No. Like they're a minus, what is it? I think it was minus 130 or something to win that series. And so, wow, I don't know if I can do this and talk, but oh, wow, I don't think my head can fit in here. We're going to have to do this later. Right. But I see sort of this like tragic
hold
ending.
on your arm like you're headed to the shuttle.
I was gonna say you gotta hold it like you just got back.
Like Gayle King.
You're a hero, man. We appreciate everything you did.
Like a high school running back with a football around the high school.
They didn't wear helmets. The ladies that went up.
No, they just hung out.
What happened there?
Well,
weren't we told like you gotta wear helmets just in case?
Just in case.
Rattling and whatever.
Someone said, you'll be fine. That's what happened.
Gotta kiss the ground.
Oh,
there we go. Nice. Did he really do it, or
he did?
For,
No, not lips to the ground.
Oh, okay.
No, come on.
I just ended. But
Theater of the mind.
So I think the Warriors are going to lose this series. Now, think about what that does, right? Mm-hmm. So I feel like, I don't know, maybe because Draymond Green has just told us all of these things, like, I'm going to win Defensive Player of the Year. Yeah. We're going to win an NBA championship. You know who also used to have those very bold claims and they ended up empty the entire time is Jimmy Butler. And so this is, and he's already got the once upon a time there was a 7th seed or whatever tale he's starting to tell on his Instagram. And I just think the Rockets are better. I think they're going to suffocate the Warriors' offense over 7 games, however many it takes. I don't think Draymond Green is going to win Defensive Player of the Year. I've seen a couple of ballots put out. I know, what's his name? Tim something. Tim Bontemps, excuse me. He voted for Stugotz, which I'm sure you'd be happy about.
For Defensive Player of the Year.
So I just think it'll be spread out, and I don't think he'll end up winning it. And then it's just going to be like, oh, they're not that team that's going to surprise people and win a 5th championship. They're that team with Jimmy Butler that still needs more help.
You realize Adam Silver is like right now, his tie is all the way loosened. He's stressing. He's chain smoking and drinking coffee because he's praying. He's praying that we get Warriors-Lakers in that second round. Like that's the money right there.
Well, aren't we all?
Of course.
Not me. I'm a huge Rockets fan.
What, Rockets Wolves in the second round?
I was thinking of. Like, I'm preparing myself for it's Rockets against the world. Like, it's going to be 8-on-5 every single time. There's going to be a bunch of questions. There's going to be the 2-minute report that say the Warriors got like 5 calls in their favor. So it's going to need a lot more effort than just, a winning effort from the Rockets. They have to do a little extra because everybody wants what Tony just said.
Are you not worried about Rockets offensively, though? Like, who's going to be the guy down the stretch that you're going to give the ball to and be like, all right, buddy, go get us a bucket when we really need one?
In a close game, sure. I do think that was, I've been saying it all year. Amin can attest to that. Like, they don't have a closer. Ideally, it would be Jalen Green in terms of somebody that would be able to get his own shot, but I don't know what happens to him in those moments. I think they need to put the ball in Amin Thompson's hands some more and let him create and draw some fouls. They don't do that enough late in games. Largely because they have Fred VanVleet, and he's got no jumper. He's going to get them an offense. He has 0 jumper. And then, Sengun, it's a little tougher to go into the post when you have the defense really locked in. So that is the biggest problem, but the way they might suffocate the Warriors, I don't think it's going to come down to those
Wait. In the middle of that, Tony, back here, as you're talking about giving the ball to Amin Thompson, his immediate reaction off mic to all of us is, man, he's got no jumper. And Chris, not knowing at all what you're talking about, 3 seconds later just goes, yeah, he's got no jumper. Turns off the mic and says, oh, man, I just stole that right from Tony.
Nailed it, though. He nailed it. Although
incredible.
I would say to you, Tony/Chris, is he's never going to settle for that. Like, he's going to force the issue.
My problem is he's not good at the free throw line either. And that's the
part
issue.
of the no jumper part.
Right, yeah, it's like I'd be all right with him not being able to shoot.
He's not a great free throw shooter percentage-wise in the moment.
He makes it. He makes it. A little Shaq. There's a little Shaq in everybody. Now, I look, the thing, to me, there's a couple of things. Number one is that, right? You asked about Jalen Green. I'll tell you why Jalen Green doesn't appear in those moments. It's because his coach doesn't trust him, man. Like, that's clear.
I was actually sat him late in the game, late in the season when the game still mattered.
Yep. Ime Udoka does not exude confidence in Jalen Green. So it's going to be probably VanVleet because he's the vet and he's more likely to make the right decision, although he's kind of limited also in what he can do on the floor. to me, that's the issue with this team. It's a young team, dude. Other than Van Vliet and Dylan Brooks, and that's your vet.
That's going to be so much fun, though.
Right? But it's like, it's Van Vliet, it's Dylan Brooks, and Steven Adams, right? Steven Adams, not an offensive guy, right? Dylan Brooks, wholly unreliable. And Van Vliet, reliable, but a little limited in terms of what he can do, right? So these are the guys. And then everyone else, first time at the rodeo. And time again, what we see is that when it's your first time at the rodeo, particularly if you're going against that old vet, them vets that been there a million times over, know exactly how this movie goes.
Like Moses Moody.
But Moses Moody, exactly. Moses Moody's played on a championship
He's
team.
been there. He's been in the rodeo.
He's seen the fire, right? He's been there, right? Jonathan Kuminga, who's out of the rotation right now, but
Scared of the fire.
But I think he's going to play against the Rockets because of the physicality part. He's been there, and then obviously Steph and Draymond and Jimmy Butler and Kevon Looney and those guys. That goes without saying. So what ends up happening is they take advantage of young teams is what happens. It's like they take advantage of, we know the value of a possession and you really don't. There's a part of this also, Izzy, that they have no idea what's coming in terms of the intensity. Because the way I always describe it for NBA, players, when you get in, you get to summer league. I'm a rookie. Oh yeah, I think I could do. I play pretty well, and then you realize, oh wait, 90% of these guys are not going to be in the NBA. So then you get to preseason, and you're like, oh wow, it's really hard. Everyone really up their level of play. But then you realize, oh, nobody cares. They're just trying to get in shape. Then you get to the regular season, oh crap, they're really playing hard. No, they're just trying to regulate for the regular season. And then you get to the playoffs, and you think you've played 82 games. Okay, I think I figured it out. I know this NBA thing. Okay, so sometimes LeBron does this, and Steph Curry, I got it, right? And then you get to the playoffs, and you realize, oh shit, they were holding out on us. They had a whole other level, and there's nothing that you can. It's like, how when people are rehabbing from an injury, and they say, well, there's no replacing game speed, right? We can go through drills and all, but there's nothing that replaces game speed. It's the same thing. I can't explain it. You're just going to have to experience it, and
sure.
I think the Rockets are going to get blindsided by that.
Experience it for 2 games, and then you figure it out, oh, I'm just as good as this team. We are just as good, if not better than this team. After 2 games, you realize, oh, Jabari Smith can just turn around and shoot over Draymond Green because he's taller than him and has a Rasheed Wallace type of jumper, okay? It's going to be, oh, wow, if we really lock up Steph, their number 2 option is Jimmy Butler. Okay, we can put Tari Eason on him. We're good. They're going to realize that they don't have that many fires to put out with Golden State. And so as long as they are doing their thing, which is getting the ball to Sengun, finding some sort of half-court offense that you can rely on, and then scoring on these turnovers and everything else, I think they're just a better team.
There's another impact of all of this that I realized, I think it was 2 years ago when the Warriors played against the Kings in the first round, which is, it's all well and good. I'm just as good. We're better than them. We could play. But then there comes a moment where you're watching Steph Curry go off, and then you begin to realize that these guys that are playing for the Rockets, in this case, they grew up watching this. So it's not just oh yeah, I was 20 or whatever. It's no, I remember as a 12-year-old watching him demolish the Rockets.
Yeah.
And it's oh crap, that's happening to me now.
No, because there's times where you recognize, though, oh, okay, now, yeah, I was watching that, but I belong here. I remember talking to Asar Thompson. He had just come back he was still at OTE. He had just come back from a pickup game with OG Anunoby, Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
Were both taking part in that game. It was a third person. I can't remember who.
Sure.
And he played that entire thing, and he said, look, I understand that, those guys are there. They're working on something, right? So they're not saying, oh, I'm going to beat up Asar Thompson over here. But I just spent, whatever it is, an hour and a half playing against them. I know I belong. There's a moment where you're just I know I belong here, and it makes you even play better. It makes you play to your full potential, and I can see that, especially with this team that has had those moments throughout the year.
There's a difference between that. There's a difference between that and when you're watching the movie, right? Anthony Edwards is great. He doesn't have the movie. Steph Curry has the movie. The movie, part 1, I put Delly in the hospital. That's a movie, dude. That's not a regular, oh yeah, I could play with him. I was
wait,
shit.
He put Delly in the hospital when Delly was beating him. It was I'm still going to put you in the hospital so that we can win this series on the back end. It was ridiculous.
The biggest lie ever told was that Delly locked up Steph. He had one good game, And then like,
What's the hospital?
And then after that, like Steph was like, "I'm gonna put you in the dirt, man. You keep trying to keep up with me, I will have you in an IV and a drip."
There's literally a 4-hour movie on YouTube right now. It's just going through the Warriors championship years. 4 hours.
Izzy, to your point where you're like, oh, I can play with these guys, right? Like when you do the pickup games and you see Anthony Edwards up close and you're like, oh, wait a second, like I kind of compare. There's that moment of realization of I can play with these guys. And then there's the moment of realization, like Amin said, like, oh, I can't play with that guy. That guy's so much better.
Is that guy Steph?
Yes.
And
And
you
again,
saw what happened the last time they played.
But no,
yes, but that's
like, dude.
they were
Izzy,
off
I'm
a
telling
back to back. They have played the Nuggets, the Lakers. They
Not
have played
saying
a
that
bunch
they
of
think
really
they
good
can
teams.
hold him to 3 points every time. But if you're looking at, wow, I can do that, then if you can keep him to, a 20-point game on 19 shots, you've done your job, and you're probably going to win that game.
Dude, you know what's crazy? That's what the Grizzlies did on Tuesday, and then at the end of the game,
And then it happened.
And then he was just like, "The movie's gonna start now," and I was like, and it happens, and everyone. The craziest thing is when everyone in the building. Everybody knows, like, oh, here we go.
Well,
like that's the part that's different, right? From Anthony Edwards, no disrespect.
Mm-hmm.
When it's like, oh crap, I've seen Indiana Jones a million times. Oh, he's beaten up. We got him. He's dying. Oh no, he's gonna turn around and pull out a gun and a whip, and now all of a sudden he's a hero again. That's what happens when you're playing against Steph Curry.
Do you think that like Steven Adams being on that Rockets team, Dylan Brooks being on that Rockets team, two guys that have had it out with Draymond Green, or really Draymond Green kicked one in the nuts a couple times and then had it out with Dylan Brooks, like, isn't that experience carry over? Doesn't that help them teach these other guys, hey, we don't need to be afraid of these guys?
It helps, but it's limited, right? Right? Especially Dylan Brooks, because he's such a loudmouth, I guess I could call him, right? Like Dylan Brooks, I could see him walking in there, hey man, we're gonna lock up Steph Curry, da-da-da. But then you're gonna see what Steph Curry's gonna do when Dylan Brooks is on him. And that's like, I thought you told us, I thought you thought we had this, right?
Dylan Brooks has two of the worst videos online ever. It's the one where he's got Draymond Green is up like this with the ball here, and Dylan's trying to be the tough guy, like face to face, but his face is all up in Draymond's pits, and it's just like, And then the other one recently where he's defending LeBron, and he's just,
Make that a GIF right now.
Absolutely.
And for the tough guy that wants to be like the big defender, like those are two videos you probably don't want out on the net.
The one I think about is one where Curry spun him around
and
then ran up the court. Like, that's the movie, man. Like, because when that happens, all that braggadocio and like I'm brave and all that stuff, it all goes out the window.
I would think, though, that this group in particular, Steven Adams, Dylan Brooks, and Fred VanVleet, who was on a championship team that beat the Warriors in the finals. I know that's the year where everybody gets hurt, right? But he's gone head-to-head with these guys before in the biggest moments. You would think that that group might be the right group to actually just boost up the most talented players who are going to be the difference makers, who are Smith and Thompson and Green. Those are the guys who are going to have to, Şengün, obviously, the guys who are going to have to play well for the Rockets to be able to pull this off. And I think there is a difference than when we're talking about late in games with a lead and you're the Grizzlies versus you're the Rockets. Those are not the same teams. The Rockets are way, way better than that Grizzlies team. And it's not to say that they're going to win this series, because I do think that if you have a 5-point game with 5 minutes to go and you not only have Steph Curry, but you have Jimmy Butler, who we've seen in those moments do some amazing things, you're probably not going to win a lot of those games. At the same time, if you can be so great, which the Rockets have been all year, that you can win some games handily, which is still possible. The Warriors are not this infallible object. You can beat them, not just beat them in the final moments late. That might be how a 6-game series happens, because the Warriors win a couple of close games late.
That's my thing. It's like, if the Rockets are going to win, they have to beat their ass.
They got to dominate.
It has to be. We're so much more talented than you that this is. I'm offended that we're even having this
And then when that happens, because, I mean, not that I need any flowers or anything, but like, what happens to the league? Do we look at it like, oh, because there's just the discussion, hey, maybe they get Kevin Durant, the Rockets, and they really finish that off. And the Rockets are just, I saw a report that said, no, they're probably not interested in KD. I think they're good. And so if that happens, like, are we announcing the end of Steph? Like, Steph needs to be on a super team to get that 5th ring and match Kobe?
Look, I don't think so. I think this Jimmy Butler half season or whatever third of a season that they've had has given them like confidence, like, okay, we've got the makings of something. Clearly it's not complete, but I think there's little optimism that they can keep doing it.
When I see Izzy holding that helmet, I think of we're in 3025. Izzy's the first person to surf on Mars. Nice. And he's joining us today to tell us about it. We finally were on Mars. We have, there's
Quicksilver is still a thing.
Yeah, it's making a comeback. It's like, how was it up there? It was warm, but you were able to do it.
What do surfers say? Do they shred? No, is that
Shock the sign up there? Be like, it was gnarly, dude. The waves were gnarly.
It was pretty.
Oddly enough, Sean John doesn't exist anymore there, though.
With good reason.
Yeah. No. I feel bad for anyone who had to work on that. Like, that had nothing to do with anything. It's like, oh man, like I just came up with some cool designs. Guys, like, hey, Baggy's back in. Remember these? And then it's like, yeah.
The timing couldn't have been better for Resurgence, and then
the Sean John velours. Oh boy, man, we would have been killing it right now with pull the velour. I had a crushed velvet. It was navy blue, but it was, how like velvet kind of like shimmers in the light.
Izzy, can you hear me? Izzy, Earth to Izzy.
He can't hear you, I don't think. Izzy, can you hear us?
Vaguely, I can hear you a little bit.
How was it? Would sound.
How was it surfing on Mars?
Water was a little dry. It was not the best, to be honest. A little hot.
Well, I thought Mars was colder than
Is it cold? I was hot. I think it's the insulation on all this Quicksilver attire. It keeps you really warm.
That kind of thing.
That kind of thing. What was this?
This might help.
There it is. You do look like an astronaut, man. Like
I don't know
who's
why
surfing?
it is.
Something about your build.
I think I heard that joke.
Here's the funny thing about what we're doing here, man.
If you're a pet parent like me, you know about Chewy. When they say they have everything you need to keep your pet happy and healthy, they're not messing around. Food, toys, prescriptions, whatever you need, they got it. Plus, they can deliver it right to your door. To keep Dopey happy, Chewy offers over 100,000 products from the brands my pets love, at prices I love too. Food, treats, toys, beds, you name it, they've got it. To keep Izzy healthy, Chewy has got me covered with pet prescriptions, insurance, telehealth vet visits, and even vet clinics rolling out nationwide. My favorite feature? Auto ship. I never run out of essentials like food or litter, and I can update or cancel anytime, so no guilt trips from Dopey and Izzy. Everything ships right to your door in just 1 to 2 days. Oh, and Chewy isn't just for dogs and cats. They've got birds, fish, reptiles, and more covered too. Chewy has everything you need to keep your pet happy and healthy. And right now, you can save $20 on your first order and get free shipping by going to chewy.com/Dan. That's chewy.com/DAN to save $20 on your first order with free shipping. Chewy.com/Dan. Minimum purchase required. New customers only. Terms and conditions apply. See site for complete details.
Ever feel like your paycheck disappeared before you even know where it went? You're not alone. Tracking your spending can be tricky, especially when little expenses sneak up on you. Late night food deliveries, I'm raising my hand, that happens to me all the time. Impulse online shopping, sporting event tickets, and don't even get me started on organic baby wipes and diapers. I mean, that's costing me a fortune right now. Finances can feel overwhelming, but Monarch Money makes it simple. Think of it as your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control so you can stop just earning and start growing. More than just a budgeting app, Monarch Money is a complete financial command center, helping you manage accounts, investments, and goals all in one place. Batard Show listeners get 50% off their first year by using code DAN at monarchmoney.com. Without a clear financial picture, your biggest money goals can feel out of reach. Monarch Money makes managing your finances effortless, even for busy lives. It syncs all your accounts, credit cards, and investments so you always know where your money stands. No more guessing, no more stress. Just a clear, organized view of your financial life. Get control of your overall finances with Monarch Money. Use code DAN at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code DAN, D-A-N.
Folks, the time has come to get some new golf clubs, and that means one thing: heading over to my local PXG store for a fitting. They make the best golf clubs. I'm telling you guys, I went there, in and out, efficient, the nicest staff. If you need to improve your golf game, if you want to scratch strokes off your score, go to PXG, get a fitting. Instantly, the irons fit so perfectly. You get fitted. It's quick. As soon as I got home with my clubs, I go to the range. I'm telling you, I gave away my old clubs. PXG is where it's at, guys. If you need to change your golf game, the fastest way to improve your performance on the golf course is PXG Fitting. The PXG fitters are highly trained, incredibly experienced, and have a deep understanding of how to optimize your clubs to get the most out of your swing. Their fittings, they're educational, they're fun. Schedule your fitting today, and for a limited time, you can save up to 20% off your entire order. Head to pxg.com/Dan. That's pxg.com/Dan to save up to 20% on your entire order. pxg.com/Dan. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Dan Le Batard.
To us residents.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty
It's in there. It's better.
Think I haven't been practicing?
Stugotz.
I didn't realize we had a substitute complicated legacy.
Brought to you by
Joseph
Headquarter Toyota. 441 Powerline Road. Second down and 9.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
We had Andrew Santino on yesterday, and we're still bubbling about it out here in the little meeting room because he is one of the great, obviously very funny comedian, incredible podcaster, but he is one of the great yes and people I've ever seen. To him and Ian Carmel, to me, are like the two highest,
Right at the top.
most evolved,
And me.
And that
But yeah.
anything you throw at them, they can just keep going with it. They keep going with it, and
Nah.
I feel like when we're at our best.
But no.
Yeah, no, but when we're at
whatever.
When we're at our best, okay then. When we're at our best, it's because we are doing the yes and thing. So I thought we could do a little yes and exercises, a little improv, just all of us here, right? So I want to start with let's start with a location. Give me a location, any location.
The zoo.
The zoo. Okay, at the zoo. All right, and the zoo, and give me a profession.
Plumber.
Plumber. Okay.
Fitting.
Okay, and. Are you all right over there? All right, here we go.
I want to ask Roy how in the world he thought of plumber.
We were talking about it earlier. We had Jake Plummer on the show.
Jake Plummer's coming.
Yeah, Jake Plummer's going to
There
be
you
here.
go. Okay, Plumber at the zoo. All right. Wow, you guys' pipes are really backed up. There's like elephant shit all over the place. You guys got to stop using these flushable wipes. They don't really work.
I can't believe they have a bathroom for elephants
They
at this
do.
zoo. It's just unbelievable.
And it's unhygienic, right? Like they never clean up after themselves. It's just shit everywhere.
The biggest stall you've ever seen. Like they're all handicap stalls.
Oh,
Do they go? They read the paper too in there because there's newspapers everywhere.
They have the biggest sinks you've ever seen. And
Really
I'm telling
stuck
you,
on
and
the
they have
sinks,
this
huh?
thing, and they have like the waving thing where you like put, and you should see them with their, what are they, hooves? What's the elephant foot called?
Feet.
a foot.
Yeah.
And the elephant foot trying to wave to get the thing going. It's a sight to behold.
I'll tell you the hardest part about doing my job here is having the monkeys throw their shit at me while I'm trying to clean up this thing, while I'm trying to fix these pipes. I mean, geez. Anybody jump
Someone
in.
else play.
Come on.
I got none. I'm not.
I just wanted Chris to do the entire thing
Yes.
and just really be hooked up on the elephant bathrooms.
So I'm
Like,
not going to lie, I had the astronaut helmet on, so I couldn't hear what was going on over there. I really didn't know what was happening. I kind of heard what you were saying, and I realized that, we're doing a thing here where it's as a plumber.
And this is how we fail.
I was working behind the scenes workshopping with Lewis trying to figure out how I could do like a racist Joe Zagacki about rhinos as compared to the elephant. We were getting there. I just needed you guys to keep the ball in the air for another minute or so.
White rhino.
Ah, damn.
And we just lost.
He
All
had
right.
the joke.
This is why we're not Andrew Santino. All right. Well, what else?
That's a good
I
exercise.
can't believe we
That was-
spent this much time talking about the Rockets and the Warriors when they're playing games tonight with some teams that have some opportunities to have some special postseason performances.
Hawks, baby.
Who's playing tonight?
The
Well,
Mavs.
of course, the late game is the Mavericks against the Grizzlies, which is actually, pretty interesting. I'd love to see
back
the
up.
Mavs.
If you saw these two games on a Tuesday in like January, are you turning
care?
on League Pass? Or are you just like,
Well,
watch
no, I'm
tomorrow?
turning
Pre-Luka
on my
trade?
local network.
Post Luka trade. Let's go.
I was
March.
going to say January. No.
Yeah, March, you might not want to watch any of these teams. But Heat Hawks, early game.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Look, are we
I will
allowed
not.
to care? Are we allowed to want to watch that game? Are we allowed to be entertained? Are we allowed to care that the team you root for makes the playoffs, or is that something that's like not cool anymore?
Tonight's the tournament for who doesn't want Cooper Flag.
Exactly.
You know who
I just can't
Jeremy
believe
is?
we're still here.
Jeremy is, and this is going to sound like a compliment to you right now, but it's
going to be an insult.
But I assure you, it's not.
Jeremy is Tyler Hero right now, all right? Because
Compliment?
Yeah, hear me out here. Everything Tyler Hero is doing is great. Like, I love Tyler Hero. He is like the American success story, right? Just nobody believed in him, came out here, worked his way up, is an all-star, doing all the right things. This team, without Jimmy Butler, with all the drama that is, he created, is still fighting and very well might make the playoffs, which is, quite the honor for them. But Tyler is still doing the things like it's really high stakes, right? Like he was playing, or the post-game interview yesterday after they beat, who was it, Chicago. He's like, oh yeah, we got to get ready for the second play-in, and that's what it's all about. And I'm like, that's not really where you're supposed to put that's where it's all about,
But
right?
it's been what it's all about for the last 3 years.
But it's not. It's not all about that, right? And then my favorite thing is he was cooking in that second half. He makes a move, I want to say against Kevin Herter. Goes baseline,
I know
two-hand
exactly what play
layup,
you're talking about.
And he's like, yeah, you can't guard me. And I'm like, Kevin Herter's probably over there being like, yes,
no shit.
and no kidding, man. I can't guard
I gave you
anybody.
baseline, buddy.
That
Plays the
is
game
not
right.
quite the flex you think it is, buddy. And I'm just like, yeah. Again, I love.
So
Tyler.
that's how you
He's
feel
doing-
about me.
He's doing everything. Yeah, because like you are cheering and you have your heart in it, like they're getting ready to go to the finals.
Because I like sports.
Yeah, and really, it's just, hey, I might be an A seed. It's like you're right now yelling at Kevin Hurt. You're yelling at Duncan Robinson. You can't guard me.
Jeremy, if they lose tonight and then end up winning the lottery, will you take the L?
I don't.
Yes,
I,
the answer's
I
yes.
think that
Yes, and
there
more.
is no
Yes, and
theory.
go.
There is no theory in which I think that no
I
matter
got a
what
conspiracy theory for you that will give you a better 2% chance at Cooper Flag.
ethical tanking.
This is a Duke organization. They're going to find a way to get them some Cooper Flag. Nick Harrison, like, come on. That's why they drafted Justice Winslow. One of their biggest mistakes ever was just because he went to Duke.
I want to play a game. I want Jeremy to tell me the percentage chance that the Heat have of winning the title, right? As of right now, where we sit right now.
It's going to be a less percentage chance than they have of getting a top 4 pick. I don't know that it's less of a chance.
I would
than-
argue it's about the same amount chance as getting Cooper Flag.
Yeah, and remember
3%
when we
no
had
way
this
beating the
conversation?
Less, right?
Way less.
Remember
Okay.
when we had this exact same conversation 2 years ago? My greater conversation than winning the championship, because this is actually like a
You're saying if they
basketball
go-
ethics conversation that I'm intrigued by, which is like,
If they go 2
is
rounds,
there
it's fun.
is there value in playing 1 round? Is there value in Tyler Hero as a lead guy having a good 6-game series
Well, I
against
mentioned this on
Cleveland
Oddball.
and that
6
meaning
games?
something to him? Is Khalil Ware getting the experience? Maybe Pella Larson, the rookies, getting experience in playoff games against playoff performers? Not something that's
Is that
valuable
more
for
important
you
than
in the
a
long
15th
run.
pick in the draft,
right?
right?
Then a 15th pick. I'm not talking about the random chance that they might, maybe because of a ping pong ball, jump into the top 4. And if they do, I will be as happy as anyone and talking about how great the future can be because of it. But I'm wondering what the value is of playoff experience and a pick next year instead of an extra pick this year.
I want to go to Tony here. I just want to point out that you can tell how suppressed Jeremy has been and hasn't been able to talk basketball, because when he finally gets to talk, his eyes get really big.
Just let me ask questions.
Let the record show that a couple of years ago, when I said the Heat should have tanked for Wembanyama, in my personal record book, the Heat already have Wemby at that point. So we have Wemby on this team in my personal record book. Now we're trying to get Cooper Flag to pair with Wemby in my personal record book on my team.
You know what the crazy thing is? In the real record book, the Spurs might actually get him.
That's
That's
would be
the crazy
terrible.
part. If they get,
I would hate that.
let's do this. I want to play this game. Top 5 places we don't want to see Cooper Flag land.
San Antonio number 1.
No.
You got a better. You can knock that off.
Well, I was going to say, never mind, because they're not in the lottery anymore. I was going to say if Dallas were to fall in the lottery, that's the last place I want to see.
they
them.
might be if they lose tonight. They're back in the lottery.
Oh,
baby.
that's right. So Dallas. That would be complete conspiracy theory. Hey, you gave Luka, you gave the LA Luka, we're going to give you Cooper Flag.
All right, I'm going to try and workshop
Imagine
this.
Nico Harrison at that ping pong.
You traded
Oh
Luka
my
for an
God.
American white.
and
Chess.
and then try to play it off like, yeah, I meant to do that.
Yeah.
That's the part. That's the part. That's why I hate the
See,
lottery.
guys?
That's why I hate the lottery, because it allows teams to F up royally and then turn around and be like, yeah, I meant to do that. I'm like, no, you didn't.
Can I say something? I don't think that
Sure.
if you are picked, thanks, Chris. I should have waited for permission. If you are picked in the top 14, you shouldn't be called a lottery pick.
Why not?
You should only be a lottery pick in the top 4 because you won the lottery, right? Those are the only times they pick.
Well, they were all 14 were in the lottery.
Yeah.
The 4 won it, basically.
Right. And so you're a winner, you win the lottery, and if you're a loser, you lose the lottery. So are they lottery losers and they get to draft those people?
I mean, yes, they're lottery losers, but the players are still lottery picks. No?
Top 4.
Only the top 4?
Only you're playing for a win, you win the lottery, those are the 4 picks.
No, the lottery decides every pick of that top.
No, it literally doesn't. Just the top 4, and then the rest of them just fall in order.
That's actually true.
Oh, okay.
So how about
Tony said that too. I followed him on that.
Yeah, well, my bad. I'm just trying to feed Chris all the stuff. It just the whole thing would be conspiratorial anywhere you put him, right? Like Cooper Flag if he goes to San Antonio, he goes to Dallas. Like if he goes to Philly, if obviously the
Miami deserves
top.
it.
Thank you, Jeremy.
They deserve it.
That's
because it was the look.
Now you're
if
finally
they
starting
lose,
to figure it out.
Here's what I'll say: they're gonna play their damn hardest tonight, right?
boy.
This team has played hard all season long, despite what would have been the easiest season ever. To just say, all right, time to tank and get the highest pick
Which
possible.
they probably should have, by the way.
I mean,
But
Jeremy,
they
went on like
didn't do it.
They had like a 10-game losing streak.
Oh, but
11,
if
I
you
think.
watched any of those games, you saw they blew those games. Not because they weren't trying to win,
Jeremy-
but because they were playing awful basketball.
third quarters.
And what I'm saying is they
lot of
actually
shots.
tried for 82 games when we talk about the concept of ethical tanking,
Even
which
a
is
10-game
teams
losing streak, he
competing
tries to
and
make it
losing.
sound like it was a good thing for
Oh, no,
Miami.
it wasn't a good thing. They were playing terrible. That's my point. But they've played hard all the way through, and in turn, they should get the look
Yeah, but
of
this
the
is
ping pong
this
balls.
is such like
That's why I want to go to the playoffs,
the
because I
narrative.
don't care.
Like I'm watching a couple Marlins games, and they're like, "This team fights. They might not be talented, but like it's just what you
Well, that's
say about
different.
They're
bad
going to lose
teams.
97
You just
games.
say it
That's
about
not what I'm
bad
saying about
teams.
this team right now.
This
That's what I said
team,
about that team.
They try hard. They might not win, but they put their damnedest.
Why did Eric Reed jump into
I'm
the
just
chat?
like
Is that Bob Dylan?
If they tried hard.
My point is they're bad. That
According to DraftKings, the Heat have a plus 150,000 odds to win the NBA championship, which is 0.07%.
No one answered my question about what the value is for players to play in the postseason.
6.6% chance to get a top 3 pick, 9.4 of the top
By that,
4.
so they have like a 5 times more likely chance to get Cooper Flag than win it all.
This is why Dan doesn't let Jeremy talk basketball.
There you go.
This
See?
conversation
See?
is my fault.
See? He's doing it again.
I got top 5 places we don't want to see Cooper Flag land.
Okay.
All right. Number 5, Philadelphia.
Yeah.
You don't get to royally screw up your year and then get Cooper Flag at the end of it. No. Number 4, Dallas. Same math there. Number 3, San Antonio.
Too many number 1 picks.
Too many number 1 picks. How many number 1 picks in this?
David Robinson,
them and
Tim
Cleveland.
Duncan,
Stop.
Victor Wembanyama.
Stop giving them number 1 picks. Them, Cleveland, Orlando. You've had enough. You should never get number 1 pick overall again. Number 2, Charlotte. I don't want him to disappear and just fade off into Bolivia.
I feel like the next one feels like very much a disappearing act.
And then the number 1 place I don't want to see him end up, Houston. By way of Phoenix's pick. Because then Izzy really wouldn't shut the hell up about the Rockets. Dude, I have to do a show with this guy every day. And every day, it's somehow we're going to work in how the Rockets and Amin Thompson
That
are
is
so
not
amazing.
true.
Sometimes we talk about Detroit.
Every day but Friday.
Who would ever wrap everything in the NBA around their one team?
Folks, listen up. They're here and they're hot. Get ready because Jimmy John's is turning up the heat. After years of perfecting the cold sandwich, toasted sandwiches are finally here. Try one of their 3 all-new toasted creations. The Toasted Chicken Bacon Ranch, all-natural chicken, creamy home-style ranch, applewood smoked bacon, melted provolone, fresh veggies, all on a perfectly toasted French bread. Good God, does that sound delicious. Or the Toasted Roast Beef and Cheddar, premium roast beef, melty cheddar, creamy horseradish sauce, crispy fried onions, fresh veggies, golden toasted French bread. It just keeps getting better. And the Toasted Ultimate Italian, salami, capicola, smoked ham, applewood smoked bacon, melted provolone, shredded Parmesan, fresh veggies toasted to perfection. Or take your favorite Jimmy John classics like the number 9 Italian Nightclub or the number 11 Country Club and get them toasted. Order now at jimmyjohns.com, on the Jimmy John's app, or stop by your local Jimmy John's today.
It's the 50th anniversary of Miller Lite, and for many of those 50 years, they've been partnered up with the Dan Le Batard Show, back to our terrestrial radio days, all throughout national syndication, Pirate Face, where we are now. So grateful for that partnership because you guys know, we believe it. It's a beer for people who love their beer, and hopefully our audience loves their beer enough to always trust Miller Lite, like I do. From game night parties with friends, or a special anniversary, like 20 years together on air, celebrating important occasions means more moments with the coolest people in your life. Cheers to 50 years of Miller Lite, the great tasting light beer for people who love beer since 1975. It's Miller time. Miller Lite is brewed for taste. Simply put, it just hits different because of those simple ingredients like malted barley for rich, balanced toffee note flavors and the iconic golden color. Oh, and that white can. Do I love that white can? 96 calories and just 3.2 grams of carbs per 12 ounces. Miller time is always a good time. Miller Lite. Great taste. 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.